Okay, so I've added controllers to all the other IK bones. So this is an IK bone. The yellow ones are IK bones with a controller. So and the green ones are have been disconnected from the armature and connected as kind of children of the controller. Only the rotation and position information is being taken from the controller. I'll show you what I mean. These are all functional. So I'll go into object mode and move this, and we get the knee bending, and the foot doesn't flop, but it also can extend out. And if I want it to rotate the foot, I can use R to rotate the foot. So that is, I've just done the same thing I did here for all these others, but I think when I left off, let's just scale this just a little bit to show this. I think when I left off, I was saying in the last video, I was saying it'd be nice to be able to zero these out. I couldn't figure out how to do that exactly. These should all be 0, and these should all be 1. The scale should always be 1. But I've since learned how to do it, and we'll do it for all of these at once. These circles towards the end. But let's. I also realize I want a controller for the nose, just the rotation information, and I want a controller for the location and rotation information of the main bone. So I can make the nose bob up and down, and I can move the character around with the controller. The reason I'm looking for these controllers is I want to be able to turn off the bones and have a a prettier interface. So I need 2 more controllers. In object mode, it's Shift A. Oops, that was Shift S. Shift A, empty, circle. There are other shapes, and you can use any shape you like, but some of them seem to me to have more intuitive uses than others. And so, for instance, the rotations here, circles seem fitted to that. I can't see it. It's behind the nose and the bone a bit, so I'll grab G and Y and just pull it until it appears, right? It either disappears or it appears. And then I'll create another. For the main bone. If I'm controlling the rotation, I want the pivot point of the circle, the controller, to be at the pivot point of the big end knob, because that's where this thing will rotate from. Oh, I'm rotating it, not scaling it. Okay, let's name these as well. I think I can scale this down just a bit. We'll call this, that's in the object here. This is nose, CTR, CTRs for controller. And this is main, because it's the main bone we're going to control. CTR. And let's zero all these out. So I can grab all these circle controllers. I'm holding down Shift to grab them all, making sure I only have circle controllers. And then it's Object, Apply, all transforms to deltas. So now this should be all zeros and ones. This should be all zeros and ones. Oh, I think I did that a little too soon, actually, because I haven't copied the information from the circle to the bone. Let's do that. In pose mode, I choose this bone. I want to add a bone constraint that looks like this, and I just want to copy the rotation. I only want the Y rotation, which will be the rotation clockwise or counterclockwise in this setup. And the eyedropper, just be sure that the eyedropper is saying the name of the object that you want, not stroke, or not armature, but the name of the controller. And we get this weird thing, but we can fix it in a moment. And then I'll get this bone here. I'll add 2 constraints, one for rotation and one for location. Location, I want the X, Y, and Z, but rotation, just the Y. I'll click on this and the armature. I'll click on this and the armature. Then I'm going to go into object mode so I can rotate this down the way I want it to be. And then at least these two I need to re-zero out. Yeah. So object, apply, all transforms to delta. So I rotated this controller, but it says that I haven't. Okay, so this is a blank man IK ready. That's what I've called this. I'm going to save this. Nope. Shift S. Control S. Right. So I just saved that, so it's ready for the next step. But I actually want to save it as. So I want to do a Control save, Shift S. Control Shift S. And add, change the name. So instead of IK ready, I'm going to change this to mesh 2 mesh 2 arm. So the mesh, I'm going to parent the armature and the mesh, and that's going to be the next video. But I wanted to also leave it open that I might want to parent just parts of the mesh to parts of the armature. That might be better. We'll see. So the next bit will parent the mesh to the armature. I'm just going to say save as. And we're going to start with this blank man mesh to arm.